Alexandria, Egypt. The year is 2013. And in the district of Moharam you have this constant churning hum of life. Street vendors, traffic, just chaos.
Well, normal sounds of the city.
Exactly. But on one particular day, that hum was just gone, replaced by this chilling silence as locals found something. A black plastic bag.
And it wasn't just discarded trash.
No. When they looked inside, it was instantly clear. This was something else entirely. This was the start of one of the most gruesome and calculated murder investigations in recent memory.
And that first discovery, it triggered a massive response. Police arrived, and they immediately realized what the killer's plan was.
To make sure that one bag could never be connected to an identity.
Right. But their search, it quickly expanded, and what they uncovered over the next few hours and days was just staggering. It wasn't one bag. They found 13 separate black plastic bags scattered across totally different parts of Alexandria.
13 bags, and inside, a grim total. 35 separate fragments of human remains. So this wasn't panic. This was a plan, a calculated effort to, completely conceal the victim, destroy any kind of evidence chain.
The challenge for investigators was immense. I mean, how do you even start? How do you identify a person from that? How do you prove those 35 pieces even belong to the same person?
It's an impossible puzzle.
But the forensics team gave them their first solid breakthrough. The analysis confirmed that all 35 parts did belong to one person, a male, probably in his 40s.
Okay, so that narrows it down a little.
A little.
Yeah.
But here was the key, the real red flag for them, the chemical analysis. The victim had been exposed to a powerful sedative, a knockout agent.
And that one detail, the sedation, that changes the entire profile of the crime, doesn't it?
Oh, completely. It suggests a level of premeditation that is just. It's far beyond a spontaneous crime of rage.
So this wasn't a fight that got out of hand?
Absolutely not. This immediately shifted the police's focus. I mean, sedation points to a planned execution. It told them the person responsible probably knew the victim well enough to, give them the drug without raising any suspicion. And the time of death, about 2 days before the discovery, it just confirmed the timing was all part of the plan.
So we have a victim, mid-40s, sedated, dismembered, and then scattered across 13 locations. The first logical step for police checking missing persons reports was, well, a dead end.
A complete blind alley. The killer had done their job well. The victim's head was found in its own bag, so there was no way to do a quick visual ID.
They were working in the dark.
Totally in the dark.
Yeah.
But the killer didn't account for, well, a bit of luck and just really meticulous police work. They decided to focus on the most high-integrity evidence they had, fingerprints. They managed to lift a clear set from a dismembered hand found in one of the bags.
And fingerprints are definitive, right? They bypass the need for, say, DNA, which can take time.
Exactly. It's faster.
Yeah.
But they still had no match until 3 days after the first bag was found. And that 3-day gap is crucial. A woman named Mona walks into the Muharrem Bek police station.
And what does she want?
She's there to file a missing person report for her husband, Sayed Morsi. He's 45, a glass factory worker. And he's been gone for, you guessed it, exactly 3 days.
Wow.
And her description of him, it was a strong match for the facial features they were trying to reconstruct.
So they needed to confirm it.
Right. To finalize the report, they needed documents. They asked for Sayed's marriage certificate. Mona went and got it, brought it back, and that document, that piece of paper, became the linchpin for the entire case.
Don't tell me they.
They did. They ran a rapid forensic test, comparing the prints from the severed hand to the fingerprints on his official marriage certificate. A perfect match. The victim was Sayed Morsi.
That is just staggering investigative work. To match prints from a crime scene to a civil document like that.
It really is.
Yeah.
But here's where the story pivots from forensics to psychology. Mona and her mother are brought to the morgue for the formal identification.
And the scene is what you'd expect, I assume.
Oh, yeah. Pure grief. They both collapsed, totally distraught. I mean, on the surface, you have a heartbroken widow and a grieving mother-in-law. But experienced officers have this thing they call the security sense. In Arabic, alis al-ami. It's not just a hunch. It's this practiced intuition. They spot tiny behavioral things that are just off.
And they saw something in Mona.
They did. Despite the tears, the collapse, something felt theatrical, a performance. It was convincing, but it was still a performance. And that feeling prompted them to look past the grief and dig a little deeper into her story.
So they turned their attention to the victim himself, Sayed Morsi. Who was he?
A pretty ordinary guy. 45, as we said, a factory worker.
Yeah.
His job meant he was often away from home for 2 or 3 days at a time, just working hard to provide. He and Mona had been married over 10 years. They had 2 kids.
And his routine, his job, that became the perfect cover.
Exactly. The relationship seemed normal on the outside, but Mona apparently resented his absences, the modest income. And that resentment, it created a window of opportunity.
A window that, as it turns out, had been open for a very long time.
For 2 full years. The break in the case came when a witness finally came forward. They revealed that there was a frequent visitor to the house whenever Sayed was away at work.
Let me guess. Ibrahim Ramadan?
Ibrahim Ramadan, 43 years old, a man with his own money, working in free trade. He was essentially Sayed's replacement, offering the money and attention Mona felt she wasn't getting.
So the police zeroed in on him. I imagine the phone records told a story.
Oh, a very clear story. Constant communication between Mona and Ibrahim. It completely dismantled her denials. She couldn't talk her way out of that. So Ibrahim is arrested, and he confesses immediately.
To the affair.
To the 2-year affair, yes. And he details this chilling routine. It proves the premeditation the police suspected from the very beginning.
What was the routine?
It was methodical. Mona would wait for Sayed to come home from work. She'd give him a drink with a powerful sedative in it. And once he was completely passed out, often for a full day, Ibrahim would come over. He'd spend the day, leave the next morning, all before Sayed even woke up.
They played this game repeatedly.
Over and over. But when Ibrahim confessed to the murder, he added a twist.
A lie.
He claimed Mona was the one who actually killed Sayed out of her overwhelming love for him, and that he, Ibrahim, only helped her get rid of the pieces.
So he's immediately trying to minimize his role, shifting the blame for the act itself.
Right. But Mona wasn't having it. When police confronted her with his story, she admitted to the affair, sure, but she pointed the finger right back at Ibrahim. She insisted he was the killer, that she refused to go along with the idea of murder.
And she had a defense ready to go.
She did. An ironclad alibi. She told police that on the day of the murder, she, her mother, and the children were all at a big public wedding. If that was true, she couldn't have been there.
And did it check out?
It did. Police spoke to multiple witnesses. They all confirmed. Mona was at the wedding.
But this goes back to that security sense, doesn't it? The alibi is real, but her behavior
Was not.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Witnesses all mentioned this one really odd detail. They said Mona was being dramatic, overly seeking attention, making a huge spectacle of herself. It was almost like she's trying to make sure every single person there saw her, remembered her being there.
So she wasn't just at the wedding, she was performing her alibi at the wedding.
Precisely. And that suspicious stagecraft, it just reinforced what the officers felt from the start. But the real motive, the tipping point, it wasn't just the affair, it was discovery.
Sayed found out.
He did. He found a photograph of Mona and Ibrahim together on her phone. He threatened to expose them. He promised a massive public scandal, a fight.
And that term, fight, it carries so much weight. It's not just embarrassment, it's public ruin, dishonor.
It's the ultimate red line. For Mona and her family, that public shame was a threat far greater than prison. It meant being completely cut off from your community, your family. And there was another layer, another secret.
What was it?
Mona was pregnant with Ibrahim's child.
Oh, wow. So the threat of the affair being exposed was also the threat of the child's illegitimacy being exposed. That explains the extreme escalation.
And this is where the third conspirator comes in, the true architect of the plan, Mona's mother.
Her own mother.
Her own mother. The original source material uses incredibly strong language, calling her a devil, a shinana. It implies she wasn't just an accessory, she was the driving force. She knew about the affair for years. She even covered for them by taking the kids when Ibrahim visited.
So her motivation wasn't passion or jealousy, it was fear. Fear of the social stain.
That's all it was. She feared the Fachas so much that she was the one who proposed murder. And she didn't just suggest it. She gave Mona 1,000 Egyptian pounds as a contribution.
A contribution.
To hire a professional killer. She was financing her son-in-law's assassination to avoid being embarrassed in her community.
That is genuinely one of the coldest things I have ever heard.
But Mona, ever the opportunist, she kept the money. Instead of hiring someone, she just convinced her lover, Ibrahim, to do it for free.
Which brings us to the night of the murder, the night of the wedding.
Yes. Sayed makes a last-minute decision. He's not feeling well. He says he's going to stay home instead of going to the wedding.
And Mona sees her chance.
Her perfect opportunity. She prepares his drink, but this time she puts a massive dose of the sedative in it, a lethal dose. Then she calls Ibrahim and tells him, the path is clear, Now is the time.
Ibrahim arrives.
He arrives, hides in a completely unexpected place in the house, and just waits. He watches Sayed drink, fall into that deep sleep. And once he's sure, Sayed is completely incapacitated.
He kills him.
He kills him right there on the bed. Then he drags the body to the bathroom where Mona had already prepared everything he would need. The knives, the black plastic bags. And he begins the dismemberment, 35 pieces. It's not frenzy, it's logistics.
A horrific choreographed cleanup.
Absolutely. Ibrahim makes multiple trips all across Alexandria, scattering the 13 bags. Then he comes back to the house and does a deep clean. Removes every single trace of blood.
And while all of this is happening, Mona is still at the wedding.
Still at the wedding, with her mother, cementing that alibi. And here's the detail that is just beyond chilling. While they're there, Ibrahim calls them. He tells them the job is done. And the source notes that both women rejoice greatly.
They celebrated while surrounded by a wedding party. That image is haunting.
Their final step was to wait exactly 3 days, the time Sayed was usually gone for work, before Mona went to the police. They thought that delay, that distance, would divert all suspicion.
But it didn't work. The fingerprints, the phone records, the weird behavior at the wedding, it all created a trail that led right back to them.
It's just a textbook example of a so-called perfect crime that fails because of its own complexity. They were so meticulous about the big things, like the alibi and the disposal, that they forgot that it's the small inconsistencies that investigators notice.
It really reinforces that idea that no matter how hard criminals try to erase what they've done, they always leave some kind of trace, an air, and that becomes the one thread investigators can pull to unravel the whole thing.
And if you think about it, the truly chilling part here is the mother. I mean, what does it say about the corrosive power of secrets when a mother is willing to finance the murder of her son-in-law, not for money, not out of passion, but simply out of a crippling fear of social shame? The fact that reputation was more important than a human life. That's a chilling thought for you to consider on your own.